Assalamualaikum. So today we're gonna learn about elementary row operation. We simplify it as ERO. So as you can see, elementary row operation. So from the word row here, the operation just for row. Next, what is the operation in ERO? The first one is we multiply one row by a non-zero real number. For divide, we cannot divide the matrix, so we have to use multiply with fraction. And number two, we add or minus a multiple of one row to another row. And number three, we interchange two rows. This is the example. First one is we multiply one row by a non-zero real number. So this is how you write down the operation. First, you have to draw the arrow, and this is the operation. The arrow, we must put it in row number 1 because row number 1 will change to a new entries. So for this one, 1 times 5, 1 times 5 here will become 5. 2 times 5 will become 10, and 3 times 5 will become 15. Okay, the rest will be the same. Now we divide. So divide, as I said before, we cannot divide the matrix, so we have to multiply with fraction. So this one put at row 2 the arrow because this operation at row 2. So 3 times 1 over 2, 3 over 2, 5 will become 5 over 2, and 1 will become 1 over 2. Okay, the rest same. So this one tak perlu lah. Sorry. Number 2, we add or minus a multiple of one row to another row. So first we draw the line, the arrow, at row 2 because row 2 will change into a new element, and this is the operation. So as you can see, row 2 plus row number 1. Row 2, element at row 2 plus row number 1. 3 times plus 1 will become 4. 5, 2, 7. 3, 1, 4. Same with minus, so we just minus. Okay, next. Number 3, we interchange two rows. Because we interchange, we cannot put this arrow at a certain rows, so we just put it in the middle. And to write down the operation is like this. Row 1 interchange with row number 2. So row 1 will become here, and row 2 will become row number 1. Same as this one, row 1 interchange with row 3. As you can see, this one become here, and this one become there. Okay, any problems? Then we proceed to reduce row echelon form. We simplify it as RREF. This is the condition for RREF. Okay, you can read that one. This one is row echelon form. Simplify it as REF. We just have 3 conditions. Condition number 1, number 2, and number 3. As you can see, also reduce row. This one also all rows. Non-zero number row. higher row. But for condition number 4, column. So please be careful with RREF. So now we combine RREF, REF, and also ERO. Example RREF. Sorry, this is the example first. Okay, this is the matrix for RREF. For condition number 1 is all rows with entirely zeros. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 is this one, must be at the bottom. So matrix number 1 and matrix number 3 doesn't have condition number 1. It's okay. Number 2 is the first non-zero numbers must be starting from left. So must be start from left. Okay, this one here, we call it as a leading one. And our leading one must be in diagonal shape. Okay, so diagonal shape. And number 4, column. As you can see at leading one, just leading one, look at leading one. Okay, any element or any entries other than 1 is 0. So leading 1 and then the rest must be 0. Leading 1, 0, 0. Okay, now we move to example for REF. This is the matrix and 3 condition. The first one, we doesn't have that one, so proceed. Number 2, leading one must be left from left, sorry. And number 3 is diagonal. Okay. As you can see for REF, it doesn't have condition number 4. So leading one, bawahnya sahaja kosong. The upper can be any number. So for REF, it look like upper triangular matrix. Okay, this one we combine. So ERO, REF, and RREF. Example, using ERO, reduce this matrix to row echelon form REF and reduce row echelon form RREF. So step number 1, we have to find leading one for row number 1. So this one is identity matrix. We call 1 here as leading one. So identity matrix, we call 1 as leading one for each row or column. So leading one, and leading one. So next, our matrix have already have leading one, this one. So we just proceed to step number 2. Step number 2, we have to make sure other entries on first column is 0. So this column, you have leading one. So 2 and 1 must be 0. So using the row, to get 0 in row 2 and row 3, we have to use the leading one that is in row 1. That's why our operation is using R1. Because this combination on different rows, we can combine. Row 2 and row 3, kita boleh buat sekali agung lah. So make sure 0 and 0, the rest akan ikut. 5, 3 akan jadi 1, negative 3. Next, step 3. We repeat again. We have to find leading one for second row. So, as you can see from previous matrix, So we have already leading one here for column second row. So we proceed to step 4. We have to make sure the entries below leading one is 0. So we have to make sure this 2 negative 2 is 0. So this is the operation. This is the operation using leading one at row 1. Step number 5. Again, we have to find leading one for third row. So as you can see, our leading one for third row is negative 1. We have to change it to become positive 1. So how to change it? Using multiply. Okay, we multiply row number 3 with negative 1. So negative 1 become 1. So now our leading one for third row is 1. So this is look like REF. So finish. But our question want to reduce the matrix to REF and also RREF. So we have to make sure these 2, 3 and negative 3 is become 0. So we have to continue. Like I said before, REF, we have to reduce it to RREF. So 2, 3, negative 3 up there, we have to change it to 0. To construct RREF, we have extra conditions. There is any column. So any column containing the first one in a row has zeros everywhere else. So meaning for leading one, every leading one, the other entry must be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and this one also 0, 0, 0. So we continue with step 6. So step 6 is we have to make sure on column with leading one, the other entries are zeros. So we have 2 leading one. So this one is leading one for row number 2. So we proceed with make sure 2 is 0 first. So using leading one at row 2, 2 will become 0. Next, we operate the column number 3. So this is the leading one. So this is the leading one. Okay. So we have to make sure 9, negative 3 is 0 and 0. So same using leading one at row number 3. Okay, so finish. Now our leading one has 0 as other entries. So our RREF is identity matrix.